May all living things be well and happy. May all living things be well and happy.
Yes.
So
That's the name of this episode.
Yes, it was our third day in Sri Lanka was another excursion I signed up for a long time ago. That when I read to Jeff about it, he said, "Oh, we're doing that.
Yeah.
Let's sign up for that. That sounds cool." So it was a meditation session with
a Buddhist monk.
With a Buddhist monk. So yes, I mean, when do you get the chance to do that, right?
I know.
So this was our last day in Sri Lanka, and we're only there till 1:00. And so we get on the bus and we go, and there's 10 of us.
10 of us.
And our guy gets on, who is the most Zen person I think I've ever met. He was the one that told me how to say Colombo.
Yes.
And every time he said it, I'm just like, oh, that's so lyrical. Colombo. So he welcomed us, and he said, I think that you are the smartest people on the entire ship, that you're here in Sri Lanka and you're taking this opportunity to learn how to meditate from a real monk. He said, why would you pass up that opportunity?
Exactly.
So
we didn't.
We didn't. We signed up. We did it. So we were in a smaller bus.
Mm-hmm.
And he drove us through Colombo and told us a little bit about the city and showed us the different areas. He had some political views to share.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't real happy with his politicians. Imagine that.
Imagine that.
And he showed us, some of the colonial, from the British, when the British ruled. Evidently the Dutch ruled there from a time.
Portuguese,
and the
Dutch,
Portuguese. So these
the
poor
Brits.
people have been handed around for quite a while. But almost for 100 years now, they've been ruling themselves and democratically led. So he was quite proud of that.
Yes.
So they drove us to a Buddhist meditation center. And we come in, and we immediately have to take off our shoes before we enter the room. And what else?
Had to grab our cushions.
Yeah. We're going to sit in cushions. And
grab a spot on the floor.
Yeah. And in the front of the room was
the monk.
Or this beautiful monk. No, it was a woman monk. Gotta tell you, I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's progressive.
I love it. So she just had this eternal beauty that came out of her. Didn't you kind of sense that?
Yeah. She was calm and peaceful.
She was. And just smiled. And I, of course, was really shy. I was like, oh, I'm not worthy to talk to you,
And you sat right in the front row.
Well, I sat in the second row. No one sat ahead of me. So I was in front of the, but not quite up there. Another woman sat right smack dab in front of her. I was like, you go, girl. Wow. And then she said, can I take your picture? And she said, well, sure. And so I'm like, take a picture. So you did. You got a picture of us. And the room was very simple. It had mats, a lot of gold and red everywhere. Her robes were fabulous. She told us about her robes, that the Buddhists said that your monk's robes should be the color of leaves when they fall from the tree in the autumn. So that could be green or gold or red or
orange.
Yeah, anything.
It had to have a little brown in it.
Yes.
But you cannot use yellow.
Pure yellow.
Pure yellow is not allowed. We're not sure why, but we didn't get a good answer to that. But yellow was not used.
So she told us a little bit about her training. She had been in the United States for a time. She said it was not for her. She was in Sacramento. And she said it was just too much hustle and bustle. Yes. And that she's very protective of her space. Remember when she was talking about the Reiki?
Yes.
Yes. So she's not a fan of the Reiki.
Well, that was more an energy and control thing.
Exactly. Yes. And she's very protective of her energy and her space, and but she was just very calm. She answered questions, but then she guided us and she told us what to expect. So we all assumed the position. She just said, get comfortable. She didn't say that you needed to hold your hands in a certain way or your feet or be in a lotus position, because, you know.
It was more about calming the mind.
Exactly. Now, we weren't all senior adults in the room.
Except for the 2 kids.
Yeah, there was a younger family. I mean, the parents are probably mid-40s. They have 50s maybe, because they have 2 in college.
Right.
And their oldest and youngest son are with them on this trip. And they all 4 were there. So, yeah, they were meditating. Now, those kids probably had no problem.
Yeah.
But, so she led us, and she told us, first she gave us the chant, but we didn't say it. You were to think it.
You said it in your mind.
Right. May all living things be well and happy. And you were to emanate that out the top of your head, and that in 8 different directions. But she guided us through all of these things. The first session was
45 minutes.
That was a long time.
Yeah.
And I have to say, my back was giving me some trouble by the end of that. I did pretty well. I lasted a long time. And I did feel, I mean, at the end of it, you just really felt calm and beautiful. And she said, we're going to take a break. When you get up, I want you to be mindful of all your actions, mindful of how you step and how you move and how you turn. And I tried to really do that. Yeah. It was very cool.
It was. Mm-hmm. And then after our 15-minute break, we came back and probably did another half hour focusing on the body as we moved through various parts of the body, constantly scanning from the inside of your body.
Yes. And finding the air blowing out your nostril, and then finding a space on your nostril where you feel it and concentrating on it. That was easier and harder than I thought, I guess, in both ways. And then also trying to breathe straight down through the bridge of your over your lip.
Yeah. And
then back up. Yes.
So you could feel it.
Yes. Now, I will say I used 1 cushion for the first session and 2 for the second. Second session was nicer.
Yes. I started off with 2 from the get-go.
He was the smart one.
And so did our guide. The guide had 2.
Yes, he did. And how old do you think he was?
I don't think he was as old as you thought. He's probably my age-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. He, very respectful to her. When we got there, he bowed very low. So there's different types of ways to address a Buddhist person. So this is somebody that...
Every day.
Yeah, every day, maybe on par with you up here. And then up here is someone you have respect for.
Like your parents.
Your parents.
Elders.
Yeah, yeah. And then up here is reserved for someone that's most
very
worthy.
high up.
Yes, yes. Monks, Buddhas, royalty. Yes. He gave her the highest one and bowed very low. And he was very glad to be in her presence. And, I mean, it just really showed.
It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did the sessions. Now, they were fabulous.
Yeah. We also covered the different precepts.
Oh, that's right. She told us the precepts of Buddhism.
Yeah.
He did, actually.
Yes, he explained them.
Yes.
Well, and then she renumerated them.
Right.
So the first one was, be kind to everybody. And the second one was, you don't steal.
You don't kill.
You don't kill.
Don't lie.
Don't lie. High moral. And then the 5th one I forgot.
Don't drink. So we're bad Buddhists already.
Yeah. Well, we got 3 out of 5.
We did. Well, 5 out of 5. We have a good moral. We have a good moral life.
We have 3 out of the 5 because we're not vegetarian, which means we kill things.
Well, we're not trying to kill.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we did have wine with dinner that night, so along with the steak. So I really blew all my good karma right then and
there. She also gave us, shared insight with us about, I liked what she said, when someone makes you angry.
Yes.
There are 3 ways you can handle it. You can be like a line in the water, and the water just laps it away and just let it go. Or you could be like a line in the sand, and it takes a little bit of effort, but eventually it goes away. Or you can be a line that's chiseled in stone and carry it around.
Carry it around with you forever.
So I think that was a nice little lesson that she taught. And, just embrace calm. And the more you practice meditation, the better you'll get at it. And that not everyone experiences enlightenment. And someone asked her what she felt like when she meditated. Did it feel like energy? And that crossed the line. Her face changed. And she's like, I can't talk about what it's like for me. It's an individual thing. You need to experience it for yourself, and what you experience is what you experience. So don't worry about comparing it with other
somebody
people.
else. Exactly.
I know that was an interesting message. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I've read books, and it covers that.
Does it?
And when you hit it, this one guy just started. He couldn't stop laughing and crying at the same time. He had just gotten to a point, and so it is an individual journey. And somehow we didn't quite get all the mysticism or the precepts, but there are apparently 8 different paths that you can take to try to achieve enlightenment. And that would have been way too much more to talk about.
Yeah, probably need a week retreat or something.
So our guide just explained that's what the symbol was, even though it looked like a stylized lotus flower. But we saw that symbol on the tuk-tuks everywhere.
Yeah.
So it was symbolism.
Absolutely. Now, after we were done with our session,
there you go.
Somebody had asked. There was a roll of string in front of her little desk there, and somebody asked what the string was for. And she said, "Well, when the monks meditate together, that they use the string and it's protective in some way." And that she said, "I have cut string for all of you, and I blessed them, and that we're all going to get our own piece of string." Now, she would only tie string on the ladies' arms. So mine is tied by her, and it's, so it'll be there until it falls off. And then she gave the men's to our guide, who tied it around the men's. Jeff's has fallen off already.
I'm unprotected.
He is unprotected, yes.
I'll just have to stay away from the Rikis. And that's too much to go into.
It is, yes.
But after we got our little protective thing, she did a last chant, and then we all retired outside for a vegetarian lunch.
Yes. There was kind of a fried rice or a mixy rice kind of dish.
Lentils.
There were lentils, which were medium spicy.
They were hot.
There were buttered mushrooms that looked kind of crispy, so I'm like, ooh, these look good. I put a bunch on my plate. And some salad. Yeah, it was all but it was yummy. Oh, beets. The beets were good.
Beets were good.
A bunch of food. Now, it was 10:30. That was our lunch at 10:30. I looked at my watch.
Okay.
It was a lovely lunch. We ate it, and a lot of the food was just too spicy for us. One woman that was with us, she ate one of the mushrooms. She said, "Oh, that's got a kick." That did it for me. I didn't have any of the mushrooms, son. I felt badly. I didn't want them to think I was disrespectful by not eating everything. But yeah.
Well, we tried everything.
We did. And they had some little crisps things that helped to cool off your mouth, and the beets helped, and the rice. So
like a little flatbread kind of thing.
Yeah. And then there was a dessert for us.
That was good.
Yes. So this was buffalo curd
Yes.
Which sounds interesting, but really just yogurt.
And this one woman's going like, I've never heard of buffalo milk. And I said, I bet you have.
You've had it.
You've had it before at home.
That's a trivia question.
Yes.
Yes. So, where does mozzarella come from? Buffaloes. Yes. Yes. So you have
so
had
does
buffalo.
Bufala.
Bufala. That's the good stuff. Yes. So it looks like yogurt.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Greek yogurt even.
Yeah. Thick yogurt.
And then they put honey on top of it. Well, the best
part
of it is it cools off your mouth.
Yes, it did.
So we enjoyed the buffalo curd very much. Yes. And water. So it was lovely. I think everyone was very calm and zen and enjoyed the
wasn't
the
quite as
session.
much chatting going on on the way back. Everyone was just in a quiet, contemplative state.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Throwing in word for the day, contemplative.
Yes. So yes, we're monk certified trained. So.
We got a lot of work to do, I think.
Oh, indeed. Though you went to the laundry room later that day.
Yes, and I put it to good use. A couple jerks that I have deigned not to talk to because
it was a line in the water.
It was a line in the water. I actually talked to the one guy a little bit. So I tried to get that line erased that I've been carrying for 2 months.
Wonderful experience. So, yep, we got back on the boat and we sailed away, and we were on our way to.
We're not going to reveal, I thought.
Yes, so that's our second episode, the second part of the episode. So we sailed away to India.
Yes.
Now that's pretty
Cochin.
exciting. You got it. I mean.
Oh, we're going to cover that today?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Look,
turn the page. There it is.
All right. I thought we were doing a mini session.
No.
Okay.
No,
all right.
We're getting all caught up.
Okay.
So, yes.
On to India.
Yes, behind us is the Indian Ocean. So.
No, we're actually now in something else. Water. Hold on.
What?
Yep. We are in the Laccadive Sea.
Laccadive Sea?
We are in the Laccadive.
Is that a thing?
Sea. Yes.
Okay.
And that's where the
Maldives
are.
Wow, that's coming soon.
Yes. So we're in the Laccadive.
So we sailed to India, and we're going to do this whole subcontinent in one day.
Hardly.
Check. I've been to India.
Well, we can say that, but
we were in Cochin.
And I did see the Taj Mahal once, but it was the one in New Jersey.
And the one in Singapore.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Yes.
So my book club, hey, book club members, I haven't read any of the books that you guys are reading, but the one book we read a few months ago was called The Covenant of Water, and it took place outside of Cochin and then Cochin itself. So it was kind of exciting to hear the guy talk about Cochin and its history, and I'm like, yeah, I already knew that. So on the second day of our contemplative journey,
yes,
we signed up for an Ayurvedic
massage
experience.
Yes.
Yes. So it was a harbor cruise, which was very calming.
Yes.
There were 5 of us on this. I don't know how we've been looking. It's good. It's good karma, right? It's good, clean living. We look into these small tour groups. And the other couple was Canadian.
A.
We piled on a boat, and we just kind of slowly rowed about the harbor. I mean, he never even got on plane, right? It was just toot, 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 toot. He took us around and pointed out buildings and talked about Cochin and how Cochin, again, very welcoming to all cultures. In fact, 2,000 years ago, there were Jews that escaped from Jerusalem and came to Cochin and settled.
Yes.
I just think that's awesome. And they still have a Jewish, there's 2 active synagogues, he said.
Okay.
one was a white synagogue for those who hadn't been here for 2,000 years, their families. And then the other one was for the families that had been here.
Since 2,000 years ago.
Exactly.
And so they were called the Madeleine Jews because when they showed up to Cochin back in those days, the king welcomed them and gave them a quarter land. And that was, I think, he said the Jewish word for land grant was something like Madeleine or something like that.
So yeah.
They've been here 2,000 years.
And they were all given or told to find a spouse. The men and the women were invited to find a spouse among the Indian people that lived there, because he said their group was so small that they needed to
expand.
Exactly.
Yeah, the gene pool.
Right. But that there have been Christians for a long time in Cochin as well, which our book focused on a Christian family. Christianity kind of in a different manner than most Americans would see it, but it was interesting. We saw quite a few churches. We saw basilicas. Yes. But then, of course, there, obviously the Hindus and the Muslims.
And the Buddhists.
Yeah, they were all here.
Forget them.
Yeah. Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are you going to say any more about our experience in the massage?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, it was quite interesting.
It was.
My experience was a little different. Everybody had a different experience. But, mine started out with the masseuse doing some sort of chant, blessing or something, and put a little dab of oil on my forehead and was holding this oil lamp up, and he's chanting, and then he grabs the top of my head and goes, like trying to get rid of bad stuff out of your head.
Okay.
And then he launched into a scalp massage, and then
was he scrubbing your head? Or?
Oh yes.
I mean, yeah, that was mine. She was scrubbing my head. She was probably scrubbing my head for a good 10 minutes.
Oh yeah, it was an hour and a half, the whole session.
Exactly.
Felt good afterwards.
Yep. And I'm just thinking, what's going to go on with my hair here?
Yeah.
Is it still there? And like you said, she poured a bunch of oil in it. And I just said, okay.
It's supposed to be good for your hair.
Well, the hair didn't feel good after, I will say. Because I didn't bring a comb. I didn't bring shampoo or conditioner or,
They didn't have all those products for you?
Not conditioner, but she had shampoo and soap.
Yes.
Yes. So, but you're sitting in a chair with no back, and she's scrubbing the top of your head, and my back's starting to hurt. But then she had me lie down on a table. Yeah. Didn't have the little hole in the head, for your head, which was fine.
Face,
yeah. And she had me put my arms ahead of me like this. My one shoulder was giving me trouble, and I was trying to, get it to a place that didn't hurt so bad. She wouldn't let me hang it over the side. I had to, yeah. Well. But it was a different type of massage than I've had. It wasn't very much like this. It was more rub. Yeah.
A lot of rub. And then cross rubbing.
Yes.
It was
nice. One arm down to one leg.
Yes. One-sided kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. It was very nice.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it. So we waited in the Colonial Hotel.
Yes. Which was lovely.
It was.
Yeah. Because they are. Because, it's built on the on the backs of
countless people before him.
Exactly. Yes.
But again, Cochin was also had the history of the Portuguese, then the Dutch, and then the English.
Exactly.
Following in, and each of them extracting their own riches. We did. One of the churches we visited was where Vasco da Gama was initially buried when he died over there. But some 10 years later, his son came to Cochin and
exhumed him
and had him buried back home in Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was kind of interesting. But we saw the church.
Mm-hmm.
And
still, in use. It had microphones up, and real pretty little church. It's an Anglican church now. And we saw some Chinese nets, some fishermen that use an old Chinese method to fish. It was all by counterbalancing. Mm-hmm. So they put the nets down. There's no bait or anything. They just put the nets down. It acts like an umbrella underneath the water. And then they pull it back up, and it's full of fish.
It's like a big lever.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like a trebuchet, probably. Maybe.
Yeah, almost. Mm-hmm. Very similar. Now, more modern ones are hydraulically driven, but these are still done with counterweights.
They were gorgeous.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Then we got to go to a spice store, which
was neat.
It was a store with lots of things. And
yes.
Spice, but yes. So supposedly the spice was all organic and made by these folks and packaged. And I was expecting there to be like piles of spices that you just say, okay, give me 100 grams of that. And no, it was already prepackaged and ready to go. But they sold pashminas and what else did they sell? A little jewelry.
They had jewelry. They had scarves.
There was a loom set up in the back.
Chess sets.
Yeah.
Just about anything, any knick-knack you could think of.
Exactly. They had essential oils, so
yes,
we got a little bit of oil, and I got some spices.
Our diffuser.
Yes, a diffuser we bought in Australia. So yes, the store, supposedly someone had told us this later that it was part of an NGO where they're encouraging small business and ladies, and yes, that it's a cooperative, so that the money stays and it goes to these small practices, right, which has made me feel much better having spent $100 there.
You barely got out. You barely got out with only that little bit.
Very persistent.
Yes.
Not unlike any of the other salespeople we've met along the way. It's just a different culture, but she just wants to make sure that all your needs are met.
Yeah,
and that she wants to make sure that you know everything that they have there, because you don't know, you might want it. The pashmina was really pretty. I thought about it, but the conversion rate was 80 rupees to $1, and that's a little hard to do when someone's going, "Don't you like it? Do you want it? That's how much it is. I'll give you a special price." And I'm like, "Wait a minute."
Well, it was over.
Is it 4,000 rupees?
Yeah. Which is divided by 80. Is visible.
It'd be $500.
Yeah.
I don't think it was 4,000.
No.
But plus, I kept looking for my phone for the calculator because I thought I just can't do this in my head, and I couldn't find my phone. And then I was stressing me out, and I'd left my phone in the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we bought some spices. And very excited about them. I got some garam masala, and what else did I buy? Yeah,
lots of stuff. Lots of stuff.
Yeah.
So I was hot and tired after the shopping experience.
You were?
Yes. So I asked the tour guide. I says, I have to drink a beer from every country we go to, and I said I want to get a Kingfisher, and he says, "You want a Kingfisher?" I said, "Yes, I do." He says, "Okay, follow me." He said, "We're going down this little warren of streets."
Meanwhile, I'm in the bus and the bus is leaving. I'm going, what? Where's Jeff?
Well, he told him where to come and get us.
Well, true. And the guide wasn't on the bus either, so I wasn't too worried. I knew where you were. I had seen a T-shirt on the side that was Kingfisher T-shirt. It was really cool. I thought maybe you were going to get the T-shirt, but no.
Nope.
So he comes back on with this huge, huge bottle. Do you have the label?
Yes.
Oh, we can just show a picture of the label, I guess, but you have it. Isn't it pretty? Yeah, so it's going to go in this little book. So here on the back it says contents: malt, hop, and sugar. That's it.
That's it.
That's awesome.
It was tasty.
Yeah. So, yeah, then we went back, and seems like at all the ports they have little stalls where you can buy things. So We bought a little something, a little musical instrument.
A knick-knack.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It is.
And so we'll take that home with us. And then we got on the bus or on the boat, and it was 3:30 by that point. And again, no lunch.
No lunch.
So I will tell you, the boat is very good about when they know people are coming back late and they know the excursions don't have lunch, they keep the lunch going for you.
Well, the boat knew from the get-go we had issues because of the immigration process.
We forgot to talk about immigration.
Yeah, you had to do a face-to-face.
Everybody that got off.
Got off, yes. Mm-hmm. Had to go down through immigration and be photographed, fingerprinted, turn in a piece of paper. They kept your passport. They gave you a piece of paper to get back in when you came back from your day. Mm-hmm. But I think it was also complicated by a computer glitch that really slowed things down.
And don't forget, there's 600 of us on this boat getting off at one time.
So it's probably...
Thank God there's not 4,000 of us.
Cool.
So, and, you know, they did a good job. Well, first of all, you get in this long queue. And, you know, the bus is telling you, okay, or the ship, these people can go down to get off. And we get down to the reception area of the ship. And we're all just standing there. And we're like, well, wait a minute. We're supposed to be getting off. What's going on? And then somebody said, they want you to wait inside here rather than outside there because it's stinking hot out there. Okay.
So they let us off in
That was
groups.
Smart.
Yeah.
That was smart. So then we walk across a real wide port and we get inside the building. And it was coolish inside the building. And there's a Disney World queue line in there. And you could see the people up front, and they're all holding their passports. And I'm going, do you have your passport? I don't have my passport.
The boat was going to give them to us.
Further ahead, where you couldn't see them, they were handing out our passports for us to hold for all of, 10 minutes. So then there were Indian men that were doing a good job of saying, okay, now you come stand in this line, you come stand, so to keep the line moving. Yeah. And that there wasn't time wasted by people walking back and forth. The guy ahead of me, it probably took him 10 minutes. It was a long time. And I thought, well, I'll just time him when I get up there. So it was 10:32 when I handed him my passport. And he looks at it, and he scans it, and he smiles. And then he does something else, and then he points at the camera. I'm supposed to look at the camera. No light that tells you how long to look at the camera. So there's people just doing this, for minutes. I think don't look at me, look at the camera, Then he said, oh, okay. And then he says, your 4 left fingers. I did that. He said, oh, good. 4 right fingers. 2 thumbs. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I was done. I think Linda was there for a half hour. Oh,
yeah,
and you took a lot longer, too.
Well, the woman in front of me was having major issues.
Yes.
So once I finally got in line, left hand went good. Right hand took a couple tries.
Yeah.
Thumbs took a couple tries, and then I was through.
Yeah.
But I think the woman in front of me must have been during the computer glitch times.
Could have been.
And
I think the fellow in front of me.
She turned around and says, "It's not me. It's not me." And I'm going, "Yeah, it is."
Well, and I wasn't trying to chat with him either. He's trying to do his job, and I'm just sitting there being patient.
And it paid off.
It did. Again, line in the water.
Yep.
Good clean karma. Good clean living. Yeah, that was great.
Okay.
And that was our experience in India. We're done. Where do we go next?
The Maldives.
The Maldives. Oh, very exciting.
Amy's going to have a diving adventure to talk about soon.
Yep. Have to get all this stuff.
The best diving in the world.
That's what I hear.
Yet again.
Well, Great Barrier Reef. Yeah. All these places the best in the world. Yes. So our postcard today, I have to write all these down.
Okay.
The postcard today is going to go to one of the ladies from my book club because we write about Cochin. So,
right.
Yes.
That makes
sense.
Cindy
in Maryland, this one's coming to you. I think you read the book. She's in my book club. I don't remember. It was several months ago now. It was a good book. It was long. So, yes. And some of the other ladies have already gotten their postcards. Good. So, yeah. All right.
All righty.
What else we got? Nothing.
That's it.
Okay.
It's a wrap.
That's a wrap. All right. So, we'll talk to you all soon.
Ta-ta.
Adios for now.